what do you see is the first foray? So somebody goes from what we'll call not well educated or not educated at all on the financial side to, okay, I start to understand this stuff. What do they look to do? They want to buy stocks? Do they want to save? Like, what do you see as some of the first actions that they normally go down and end up leading to being successful financially?
Really, really good question. So, and I feel like I have a unique lens of this as an advisor. So one of the things that you constantly, and again, we realize one of the biggest issues here is debt, consumer debt, student loan debt, right? So a lot of questions that you get is, how do I manage just my financial life, right? Like, and debt leads the conversation. I have X amount in student loans. I have X amount in credit cards. And one of the things, again, whether a client comes in and they have 5 million or they have $5, I say, let's go all the way back to square one. Answer 2 questions for me. 1, what is your first memory of money? Is it your grandfather walking you down to the bank, or is it scarcity like it was with me, the landlord banging on the door, right? Big difference how you operate as an adult. The other thing is, now what is your relationship with money, right? What does that look like now? You get money, what do you do? Is it in one hand and out the other? Is it immediately to save? Is it immediately to look for an opportunity to flip? Like, those are habits. So I asked those 2 questions. The next thing is, I don't care who you are, where you're from, where you went to school, your color, your favorite, whatever, sports team. Give me 3 months of your checking account. I'll know all I need to know about you. How much you make, where you spend it, how you spend it, how often you spend it. I'll know everything about you. Do that for yourself. And then I have them come back to me and they're like, oh, right, I spend X amount of money eating out, or I spend, right? Because you had no idea. You were just operating as if. So that's one of the things, just getting people to understand the basics. And people just don't learn the basics of really what it means to budget, right? Really what it means to personal finance, to make sure that I have these different buckets for different things in my life. I've addressed the behavioral part of myself when it comes to money. Those are 2 big buckets. The last then is, okay, and here's the other thing is, people say, well, okay, well, I don't have any left over. Like, all right, fine, right? Visualize. Take a white piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. Everything that comes in, everything that goes out. You got a number over here. Let's look at that number. That's called discretionary income. If you have a number on the other side, we got some issues. So we could address that just to make sure people get even. But now, what then do I do if I have that number over here? I have $100 left over, right? And that's when you get the people DMing you, are you gonna buy airline stocks, right? Or whatever. So you start to get into, all right, and I was just having this conversation about savings, right? Now let's look at that. Now, you would want savings, and savings makes sense. And that's the ultimate goal, 6 to 1 year of savings based on whether you're single, married, whatever. Cool. Savings is a privilege, right? From growing up in a house where savings was never a conversation because there was nothing to be saved. If you can save, it's a privilege. With that said, there's conversations with people who say, well, I have savings, but I have credit card debt. I have savings, but I have, a $700 car payment. Well, why do you have savings, right? You should use some of that savings to get yourself in a better situation financially. Go all the way back to let's take your credit cards. What is your debt service every month, right? It's costing you $600, $700 a month just to pay your credit card bills. So imagine if you took some of your savings or all, pay that down. Now you're paying $200 a month in credit card bills. That leaves you a $500 buffer. Now you could direct that money to something else. We still haven't gotten to investments yet. We're just literally talking about managing your financial life, right? And then you can start to direct that towards maybe a immediate savings bucket, or directing that to other payments that you have. Again, so many different things that people have, looking at making sure they're maximized their work benefits, which a lot of people don't do, right? So those are really the conversations that people want to get a hold of and understand. They just don't know how to manage the finances of their life, right? Well, how do I allocate my 401k, right? What is this withholdings thing, right? Do I withhold 1 or 10 or 0? No one knows that, right? There's no education on that. So it's really bare bones, basic personal finance, but I take everybody all the way back to the beginning of memory of money, your relationship with money, and let's just go bare bones budget. Keep your little app. Let's actually look at it And then we can start to address getting to that big shiny object in the corner, which is the crypto and the stock market.